Chelsea 5, West Ham 0, and wow, that's probably the best I've seen Chelsea play all season. They were incredible. Cucurella inverting into that role. How good has he been in the last couple of games for Chelsea? Caicedo and Cucurella looking like those players Chelsea bought from Brighton. Cole Palmer's just Cole Palmering, isn't he? He's just been brilliant all season. Noni Madueke, he's been fantastic. Jackson had a really good game, particularly the second half. All round very good performance from Chelsea. And as a Manchester United fan, I'm now a little bit worried because Chelsea are above us in the league, but obviously we have the game in hand over Chelsea, but we've still got to play Newcastle, Arsenal, and then Brighton and Palace away. And I look at this, and this is 3 weeks old, but this is sort of expected points versus where they are. And Chelsea have massively underperformed where they're meant to be. Chelsea actually could be fifth when you look at their expected points. Chelsea have underperformed a lot of their metrics, their XG, all of that kind of stuff. That actually Chelsea have probably been the fifth best team in the league, but they messed it up a bit through, player problems, a little bit of silly mistakes, all of that. And then United actually could be like 15th of where we're meant to be off expected points, expected goals, and all of that as well. And we've managed to get to 6th place. Obviously now with the game in hand, we're in 8th place. So as a United fan, I'm a little bit worried because I actually think that Chelsea have been a lot better than people think this season. They've obviously not had the best season. They've spent a lot of money, but you can see, elements of what Poch is trying to do with Chelsea. You can see lots of positives for Chelsea to build on. But, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke is being consistently good these last couple of games and showing he can be a player. I think Chelsea need a striker, but there's definitely a player in Jackson. Mudryk's improving. Caicedo's looking like the £100 million player you brought these last couple of games. Gallagher's been decent. Like, you look at Chelsea and I think they've got a good foundation, but what I've noticed about Chelsea is it seems that they've really sort of clicked these last couple of games. I do want to talk about Cole Palmer, I do want to talk about Madueke, I do want to talk about Cucurella. They're the 3 players I'm going to focus this review on. But I really want to speak about sort of the tactics that Poch has changed. All of a sudden, Cucurella's gone into this inverted role. They got battered by Arsenal. They started the Villa game a bit. And then all of a sudden, Chelsea probably deserved to beat Villa in the end. VAR was a bit. And since that Villa game, with Cucurella moving into this DM position in possession and Chelsea going to 3 at the back with Cucurella as a DM, and Chelsea have always sort of suited 3 at the back, I guess. It's almost clicked. It almost works best for Chelsea. Poch is like, you know what, put Cucurella into DM. He'll help out Caicedo as well. Give Caicedo a bit more license. Caicedo is looking really, really good. And all of a sudden, Chelsea have just clicked. They've just gone up a level. They've just looked so much better since they've gone in this 3-4-3 sort of box midfield. And I think the best way to sort of describe Chelsea is I think they've actually underperformed their metrics a lot this season and have, been probably the 5th or 6th best team in the league as of lately. I think they are actually 5th in form since Christmas. But you see this 3-5-2 or 3-4-3 box midfield, however you want to see it. You see sort of goes to a back 3. But you can now see that this formation is sort of giving a bit more license to Gallagher and, of course, Caicedo, with obviously Cucurella inverting a DM. Noni Madueke is getting to go wide and take on people 1v1, which he excels at. Mudryk is looking really good because it's giving them a bit more space wide. Cole Palmer's got the license to be the guy in the middle. And Cole Palmer's passing. Everyone talks about his goals and assists, but his passing, his creativity, his vision, his technique is so, so good. And Chelsea look so much better. Poch has all gone all tactical lately and, doing, good build-up. Caicedo getting supported in build-up with Cucurella inverting. Wingers are going out 1v1 and going out wide and holding the width and going 1v1. And then all of a sudden, Chelsea are pushing people up and there's a bit of an overload and rotations up the pitch. And they're slower in attack, but they're sustaining attacks better. And they just look a lot better. And I think Cucurella coming in midfield has also created a bit of a 3-2 and build-up, which has really, really improved Chelsea, particularly, when he gets on the touchline and Mudryk goes really left and then Gallagher gets a bit more freedom in that role as well. And I think Gallagher, when he can sort of pick up the ball and crash the box, you see a lot more in him as well. But I want to talk about Cole Palmer, then I want to talk about Madueke, then I want to talk about Jackson, and then I want to talk about Cucurella. Well, we spoke about Cucurella, but we will. But I want to break this down as quick as I can because I know that by the time this video's up, there'll be the Spurs-Liverpool game on. But obviously, Cole Palmer's sort of called Cole penalty, but he's been a lot more than penalties this season. He's got loads of assists. When you watch his passing, he could have more assists. He's got loads of non-penalty goals. He now has the same amount of non-penalty goals as Mo Salah this season. So I think to the people just saying, oh, he's all penalties is a load of rubbish. And what's he expected to do? Miss the penalties as well? You've got to look at it like that. I think he's been unbelievable for Chelsea this season. I mean, these are just Cole Palmer statistics here 43 matches, 26 goals, 13 assists. He's now got 30 goal contributions because this was earlier. He's now got 30 goal contributions this season because he obviously added the one more, which is absolutely mad to get over 30 goal contributions at Chelsea at age 21. He's got 30 goal contributions in the Premier League, I believe, this season, and nearly 40 goal contributions this season, which is absolutely mad. Imagine your first season going to a Chelsea side that's underperformed. You've barely played much football before. You're a young kid and you're going to probably break 40 goal contributions in your first season at Chelsea. People say, oh, penalty, penalty, penalty. He'd still have nearly 20 goals if it wasn't for penalties. He still has 13 assists. If, Jackson improves his finishing, and I do think that Jackson's a very good player, and I actually thought he took his second goal really well today, Cole Palmer could have 5 more assists this season. It's actually ridiculous. And he's now scored more goals than Didier Drogba did in 8 of his 9 seasons at Chelsea. And for me, he's been brilliant. But I actually thought Madueke was a bit of a standout player today. I think Madueke was up there for man of the match. I think while Cole Palmer was brilliant, 30 goal involvements in the Premier League at age 21 says it all. I think his ability to create space, Cole Palmer was dragging out players and giving Madueke more space. Madueke 1v1 in space is a very good player. I think Cole Palmer was controlling the game, so playing so many good passes was great. But Madueke was my man of the match. And one of the reasons he was my man of the match was actually that pass to Nicholas Jackson where he was very, very unselfish. Madueke, these last 3-4 games for Chelsea's look really good. He's very good 1v1 ball carries, a very good dribbler. He makes things happen in and around the box. He causes problems. He's a very, very good player, Madueke. And he created 6 chances today. And the only time Chelsea have created more than that amount of chances in a game was Cole Palmer versus United. He had a really, really good game. If you look at Madueke's game numbers here, 22 passes into the final third. He had 12 touches in the box, 7 shots, 6 chances created, 4 on target. 4 duels won, 2 successful take-ons, 1 goal, 1 assist. Probably his best performance in a Chelsea shirt. I think he's been good these last 3-4 games for Chelsea, building consistency. I think he's really improved this second half of the season in terms of his decision-making, really unselfish there to play it to Jackson. I think, these last couple of weeks he's been good, but I think 1v1 on the ball, taking on his man, he's now got that bit of confidence, give and go. And I think he's a good player, Madueke. We've always known he was a good player. When Chelsea brought him in, there was potential there, and he's been a bit hit and miss at Chelsea, but he's developing. I think his decision-making's improved. I think, the Madueke of beginning of the season may have shot there and not passed to Jackson. His all-round game's improved. I think off the ball, he's really improved. I think he's sort of developing as a player as well. And I think, he seems positive. He seems happy playing. And I think, he looks like he's really matured these last couple of games. He's been really, really good the last 3-4 times I've watched him play for Chelsea. 6 chances today says a lot. But I think all of Chelsea's best moments in these probably last 2 months seem to come from Palmer and Madueke. All of their good moments seem to come from Palmer, Madueke, and all these good moves. Palmer and Madueke have had some kind of involvement in one or the other. And obviously, Palmer's just on a level of his own. But you're seeing Madueke today. You're seeing the technical talent that Madueke is. You're seeing that now he's getting a bit of game time. He can go in, he can go out, he can cut in, he can, go 1v1, run to the byline. He can cause a lot of problems. And I think if he stays focused on football, gets away from all the celeb stuff and all of that and just focuses on his football, he can be a good player because he's definitely got the ability. And I think, he's a very good player to watch because, as I've said, he's very good 1v1. And I think, Madueke, he can go far. I think there's a really good player in Madueke. I think Mudryk looked a lot better as well. And I do think that Chelsea have a much better squad than I think. I think they've got Mudryk, they've got Madueke. I think Caicedo's a good player. They've got very good young players at Chelsea, of course. Cole Palmer and Madueke, I believe, has 4 goal contributions in his last 3 starts for Chelsea. So he's really, really contributing. But I do actually want to talk about Nicholas Jackson, a player that I do think Chelsea need a striker, but a player that I think gets a little bit too much stick. He's got 13 goals in the Premier League this season. He's got 16 goals and 6 assists in all competitions. And yes, Nicholas Jackson misses a few chances. But I think other than the odd bit of decision-making and finishing, he's a very complete player that doesn't do much wrong. I think he's been really, really good for Chelsea in recent games. He's always knows what areas to get into. His movement off the ball is really good. I think he's definitely, if they might bring in a striker that's a 30 goal plus striker, but he's definitely a good option to have because in the final third, he's quality. He runs the channels well. He operates well between the lines. He drops deep. He's good at holding up the ball. He's good at linking up play. He's good at carrying the ball. He can dribble and carry the ball. He can drop between the lines. He can draw players out and create space. And he's someone that does everything you want. It's just sometimes he needs to finish a few more chances. But today, his second half, took the second goal well. I thought he had a really good game, and I think, you know, Nicholas Jackson gets a lot of stick because he misses a few sitters, but he's got good numbers this season. But I actually think his all-round game is really good, and he's a really good option for Chelsea to have, especially considering his age. He's only going to get better. And of course, the price tag Chelsea played for him. He had 1 assist today, but he played 4 key passes, 3 out of 5 dribbles, 7 out of 11 duels won, 2 goals. I mean, he's got a 9.7 SOFA score rating for a reason. He had a really, really good game. And yeah, honestly, this is probably the best I've seen Chelsea play all season. Really good. Caicedo was good again. I think Caicedo's looked a lot better lately. I think obviously Gallagher does the dirty work, which helps Caicedo. Cucurella inverts, which helps Caicedo. I think Cucurella's been brilliant. Chalobah was good. I mean, Chalobah's passing today was brilliant. The pass that set off Madueke for Jackson's goal was good. Badiashile shows that aggression to step out of defence, which improves Chelsea. And I think with Chelsea being such a young team, they have potential, and I think Poch has ability to progress them forward next season. I think he does. And I think, you know, looking at Chelsea and I look at Jackson's link-up play and his footwork, and, you know, Madueke and Mudryk, you know, going better 1v1, Palmer controlling it. I think, you know, Chelsea are inconsistent. They may go and lose their next game, but these last few games have been a good sign of what could come at Chelsea in the future, and they do worry me a little bit as a United fan. Let me know your thoughts down below. Please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe. See you next time. Bye.